Jasper Kirkby is an atmospheric scientist involved in cloud research at CERN. Dr. Kirkby used this slide when he told his audience, quote, "These are clouds which are seeded by jets dumping aerosols into the upper atmosphere," unquote. On February 21st, 2015, jet aerosol dumps were spotted over Gainesville, Alachua County, in a large area of North Florida. Although this was a particularly heavy aerosol day, these dumps are witnessed and photographed by experienced spotters and the general public nearly every day. Many citizens are aware that the skies are being sprayed by jets and express concern about how the fallout of aerosols are affecting the environment. The pattern of spraying is consistent with a military operation, although aircraft with passenger jet markings have been documented more frequently in the past several years. Military involvement is the most likely source in this case, since the side-by-side trails and X patterns reveal headings and dangerous proximity of aircraft that are strictly forbidden by FAA regulations. But even if these aerosols were somehow considered normal jet contrails, the reckless patterns and dangerous proximities appear more like an aerial stunt show. This is an issue unto itself that requires an explanation. Of course, the big question everyone always asks is, why is this a secret? More to the point, why is it a secret in plain sight? Why does the FAA seem to be sworn to secrecy on this operation? How can anyone think these massive aerosol dumps can be sustained as a secret when anyone can look up and see the obvious for themselves? Does this have something to do with global warming? If so, why is the government not telling the public about the benefits of aerosol spraying? As a Sierra Club member, I want to know how these aerosols are damaging the environment and human health. Can they affect rainfall patterns? Can they, in fact, change the climate? Coming from climate scientist Joyce Pinner, the answer to the last question is yes. A quote from page 17 of the IPCC Special Report on Aviation and the Global Atmosphere says, quote, "Contrails tend to warm the Earth's surface, similar to thin, high clouds," unquote. It's public knowledge that geoengineers like David Keith have been promoting jet aircraft releases of aerosols into the stratosphere for years in case we need to cool the planet against the worst effects of global warming. So a reasonable person could suspect that the past 20 years of secret aerosol dumps have been producing surface warming and climate change that the IPCC has been blaming on CO2 and greenhouse gases.
And to give this talk on cosmic rays and climate, and I have to say right at the outset that I'm not going to be providing answers in this talk. I'm going to be providing questions and uncertainties and hopefully stimulate your interest in the subject, but I certainly won't be providing answers because I don't know what the answers are myself. Let me tell you why aerosols are important for clouds. Every cloud droplet has a seed inside called a cloud condensation nucleus. When you increase the number of CCN inside a cloud, you increase and keep the water content brighter. In other words, spread the water over more droplets. Its brightness increases, so it becomes a more reflective cloud. That's one aspect. The second aspect is that it actually rains out more slowly. Clouds rain out because droplets start to coalesce when they get big enough by gravitation, and then they drop out. If you spread that out over more droplets, the cloud will stay longer. Now, there's plenty of evidence that large regions of the climate are lacking sufficient aerosol to form clouds. Contrails are a well-known example of that. These are not smoke trails. These are clouds which are seeded by jets dumping aerosols into the upper atmosphere. Also less familiar, but also very important, these are ship tracks. And this is a huge area. This is the north coast of America. There's Alaska. These are ship tracks over Alaska, and they're clouds being seeded by extra aerosol. Now, in particle physics, we do know that charged particles can form condensation seeds, but we have to say instantly that this is a non-natural condition. This is where we generate several 100% supersaturation. These are not smoke trails. These are clouds which are seeded by jets dumping aerosols into the upper atmosphere.